Rise and Shine Rwanda is Thursday, the 12th of November.
Good morning, it's just after 7 o'clock in the morning and you're watching Rise and Shine Rwanda with me, Ivan Magwene.
And me, Yvette Shumbusho.
Over the next hour, we'll bring you all the latest news, sports and business headlines from here in Rwanda and around the world. So Yvette, what do you have for us today?
So imagine if you lived abroad, but you were able to invest back home and you're able to buy, let's say, for example, a house. How amazing would that be?
All right, I can't wait to hear that then. Shay, what do you have for us in lifestyle?
Today is movie review, and there's this movie that everyone has been waiting for that is coming out this week.
I think I know which one.
Right.
No, let's just save it for lifestyle.
Because Moses, a lot is going on in sports.
Yeah, it is going on. Rwanda was drawn with Sudan and South Sudan and Zanzibar in Group C of Sekafa Senior Challenge Cup. That is going to take place in Ethiopia. So, and more to come, of course, European football and more scandals in FIFA and so much to talk about.
Well, all that and more still to come, but first, Rise and Shine story of the day. The Ministry of East African Community Affairs on Monday launched its 6th edition of the East African Community Awareness Week, aimed at raising awareness on the benefits of regional integration with a focus on students and border communities. The East African Community Week this year is held under the theme 8 Years of Rwanda in the East African Community, deepening the regional integration agenda. The events across the region are aimed at raising awareness on the East African Community integration agenda. In Rwanda, Rwandans will be updated on key integration achievements, key ongoing projects and programs. Officials will also listen to public concerns about integration. Activities throughout the week include the launch of the East African Science and Technology Commission in Kigali on Friday and a visit to the Rwanda-Tanzania border district of Kirehe on Saturday.
What is happening? What is it about?
Well, of course, these, as I told you, these awareness weeks have been happening, and it's not only happening in Rwanda. So it was agreed by the heads of state that we are going to have these awareness weeks around the East African community. And they're very important because most people hear about the East African community, but they don't get to understand why is Rwanda there or why are we having an East African community. So that's why we need to have all these kind of editions come in every year that people get to know a little bit about the East African community.
So we're talking about integration.
Yes.
But I know for sure that there's going to be a debate today.
Yes.
Because I heard you talk about it.
Yes.
I know you're going to participate. So I wanted to ask you, what is the motion?
Well, the motion is whether the East African community is purely economical.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, wow. What do you think about that? What is your take?
Well, you just made me start the debate from TV.
And you can continue.
Well, purely speaking, of course, according to the East African Treaty, there are certain stages that the East African community is supposed to go through. First of all, we had a common market, we had a customs union, and now we're planning to have a monetary union, and finally a political federation. Well, with your question, is it purely economical? Looking at the numbers and the status quo right now of MASH, if I look at what has been achieved, most of it has been economical.
A lot of it.
A lot of it has been economical. Looking from the implementation of the common market to the implementation of a customs union, well, we're still trying to see if we can get into the monetary union, but a lot of debate is going on, of course. But most of them have been economical, and so far so good. I mean, not only economical, maybe I would say the slightest part of that is non-economical is in terms of security-wise. You've had joint actions of the armies coming together and, you know, to stop cross-border crimes and security in the region. But at the end of the day, all these are meant to have something so people can do business in a peaceful environment. So I think most of them have been economical.
So why do you think that there haven't been any that are non-economical, let's say social
Yes.
kind of integration.
Yes, well, as I said, it's a process, and we're at certain stages. So at this moment, I think the priority for the heads of state, and according to the treaty, were economical factors. So if you have an economical factor, I think it's easy to enter into a political federation. A political federation is a very long journey that people have to take very carefully, because we have different backgrounds, we have different economies, we have different institutions. So if we're going to make a decision like that, then it should be a decision that has been made in a process.
I honestly think that before we get to the political federation, we should have some social factors that we try to integrate within the region.
Yes.
Because then when people are socially connected, then it's easier to get to those steps of political federation.
Of course, I think I can't wait to hear. But we've seen introduction within the education system. Now you can go to Tanzania. All those are social. We've seen the Jama Fest here coming in terms of expo, people getting to know different cultures. Those are all social. But it's a
Yes.
process, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, thank you. You're watching Rise and Shine Rwanda. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Is to traveling and saving. Starting 1st of April to the 1st of June, travel with Rwanda and take advantage of our reduced fares and enjoy our world-class services in great comfort and safety.
Fly our dream to the heart of Africa.
Okay, let's get to this business. Yvette Shumbusho has the details. Okay, let's get to this business. Yvette Shumbusho has the details.
Business stories making headlines today. Rwanda's inflation rate for October slowed to 2.9%, down from 3.7% in September, according to the National Institute of Statistics Rwanda Monthly Consumer Price Index. Rwanda uses the CPI as main gauge of inflation. According to the report, the increase is mainly due to the rising prices of food and non-alcoholic beverages, which rose by 5.6% and 10.5% respectively. Overall consumer price index increased by 5.5% on an annual basis and increased by 1.5% on a monthly basis, the report indicated. Meanwhile, the index for water, housing, electricity, gas, and other fuels and transport decreased by 0.1% and 0.3% respectively. We're up to date with today's business headlines. Sports news coming up in just a minute with Moses Bidikunzira.
Here is to traveling and saving. Starting 1st of April to the 1st of June, travel with Rwanda and take advantage of our reduced fares and enjoy our world-class services in great comfort and safety.
Fly our dream to the heart of Africa.
Welcome back to Rise and Shine in Rwanda. Time now for your sport news. I'm Moses Bidukunzira. Starting with local football, Rwanda drawn to face Sudan in 38th edition of Sekafa Cup. Rwanda will face Sudan in Group C of the 38th edition of Sekafa Senior Challenge Cup, which will be held in Ethiopia from November 21st to December 6th, 2015. Also drawn in the group are South Sudan and Zanzibar. Rwanda, who will be using the tournament to fine-tune ahead of the 2016 African Nation Championship CHAN, will be looking to win their second senior challenge title. The draw also saw reigning champions Kenya, Harambee Stars, landing in a tough group B that also has 12-time winners Uganda. Now on to European football. Arsene Wenger and Jamie Vardy won Manager and Player of the Month for October respectively. Arsene Wenger has claimed his 15th Balkans Premier League Manager of the Month after leaving Arsenal to 4 consecutive victories in a perfect October. Wenger's side beat Manchester United, Watford, Everton and Swansea City last month to climb up to second in the table, behind leaders Manchester City on goal difference. And Jamie Vardy won the prize after scoring 5 goals in 4 games. And the follow-up in FIFA corruption scandals. Greg Dykes, the FA chairman, concerned by World Cup bans. Football Association Chairman Greg Dykes has questioned whether any World Cup has been awarded without a pile of bags. Wolfgang Nesbach, quitted as president of German Football Federation DFB, amid claims that payments were made to officials at the World Cup governing body, FIFA, during the bidding process for the 2016 World Cup in Germany, beating England, South Africa, and Morocco to host the 26th event. Dyke says, "It's like every week something is going to happen." Began to be convinced almost no World Cup has been advocated without a pile of bags. The 4th edition of African Nation Championship CHAN draw is getting closer as the draw is slated this Sunday, 18th at Hotel Selena. I was with Mr. Nzamwita Vincent de Gaulle, the president of RWAFA and local organization committee, LOC, to discuss all the preparations in details. Take a look.
From 16 January to 7 February, Rwanda will host the 4th edition of African Nation Championship, and the preparations are on an advanced stage as the draw will be held here in Kigali on Sunday 15 at Kigali Serena Hotel. The president of RWAFA and local organizing committee said that Rwanda is ready for the draw.
Kumbaza icyo kibazo ko kirafasha n'abanyarwanda kumenya imitegurire ya draw aho igeze. Draw iriteguye neza, ibintu byose biragenda ku mwanya wabyo. N'ubu ngubu musanze mu kibuga ndimo ndategura kuko najyo biri muri cadre ya draw, kuko nyuma ya draw ibibuga byaba byatomboye amasite bigomba kujya kureba aya masite ibikorwa aho bigeze, ndetse no kureba amahoteli bizacumbikamo. Draw iriteguye neza, nababwira yuko mu rwego rwa CAF izaba delegation izaba yobowe, ubwo ngo simvuze abasekretari general uzaza, directeur wa competition n'abandi bakozi ba CAF benshi, ariko delegation ya CAF izaba yobowe na acting president wa FIFA ariwe president wa CAF Isaya Tu. Ubwo ngubwo niyo delegation izava muri CAF. Aba ibindi bihugu muziko amatariki yagiye hagati y'imikino ibiri ya Coupe du Monde qualifiers, ntago bazitabira iyi draw ari benshi, ariko ibihugu bimaze ku confirminga ni ibihugu hafi 5, sinzi banabyibuka neza, harimo Angola, harimo Maroc, harimo Ethiopia, harimo Uganda, harimo Zimbabwe, ngira ngo n'ikindi gihugu nibagiwe, ariko n'ibindi birakomeza biyandika. Ariko abanyamakuru bo ni benshi nabonye kuri list accreditation, ni benshi bahagije, harimo n'abanyarwanda. No kuvuga yuko ibintu byose birateguye neza.
On Monday 15, all delegates representing teams that have Lyon, Rubavu, and Huye sides respectively as their base. They travel to check the stadiums and hotels.
Murakoze, ndumva icyo navuga ni ukumara impungenge abanyarwanda cyane cyane abakunzi b'umupira w'amaguru ndetse n'abandi bazatangaza serivisi muri icyo gikorwa. Ngira ngo aho imirimo igeze hose nta mirimo nta site n'imwe iri munsi ya 95%. Ni ukuvuga yuko ahari hasigaye gato izindi site zasize ni Huye, ariko ubwo tuvugana hano naraye Huye, nazindukiye muri stade, nakoranye inama n'abantu ba Rwanda Housing Authority, harimo n'aba contractors barimo hangoho. Ugiyeho nanone hasi nkubeshye harimo ibikorwa bimwe birakorwa ijoro n'amanywa kugira ngo babe on time muri janvier. Draw bazasanga wenda ibikorwa birimo birakomeza kuko ntago byarangira ejo, ariko ibyo nakwizeza nuko plan baduhaye kandi urebye kuri tere uko bimeze, ngira ngo icyumweru gitaha isura y'indani mu ibikorwa by'indani izaba yatangiye kugana ku musozo. Ariko icyo navuga nuko nta yindi shwa dufite, tugomba gukora bishoboka byose kandi izo site zigomba kwakira imikino ya cyane.
On the chances that Amavubi national team has in the competition, Mr. De Gaulle said that Rwanda has been preparing very well and they are ready.
Nkuko mpora mbivuga, dufite amahirwe yo gukinisha abana bato kandi bakinira mu gihugu, ni nabo bakoze 90% bakoze equipe nationale yacu. Ubu ngubu amamace yose dukina aba ari ya Coupe du Monde qualifiers, hariyo ya CAN, amajonjora ya CAN, byose birimo biratutegura kuri cyane.
Of course, Moses, I know this is what every football fan is waiting for in Rwanda. CHAN is on its way. We're having the draw ceremony at the hotel, and quite frankly, you had a very good talk with De Gaulle. So tell me, how ready are we for CHAN?
Yeah, Rwanda is ready because, as always, Rwanda is the only country in Africa that, in terms of hospitality and organizing events, is one of the countries that is always up to the. There's no debate about it. We are always better. We organized the African Championship for youth under 17 in 2011, if I remember properly. And this time around, all the stadiums are getting ready. Of course, the draw is happening this Sunday. But the Rio tournament is starting in January, so we still have about 2 months for still completing all. So
that means even our pitches are ready.
Yeah, there's some which are not yet ready, especially the one at Huye, the one at Huye and Rubavu. But the one at Nyamirambo Stadium is ready, and of course the Stadium Amahoro is always ready. And but they are doing final preparations on Huye Stadium and of course Rubavu Stadium. But as per the talk that we just talked with Mr. De Gaulle, he said that by that time the stadium will be ready even before the end of this month.
Yes, I wanted to ask you a question. Of course, it's something that has been working around my mind. I want to know who are your main focus with the CHAN this thing. Which teams do you think?
Of course, we have to start as our team because our team is preparing very well.
Who are the biggest competitors in this game?
Of course, biggest competitor will always have to be Congo Brazzaville. It has to be Ghana. It has to be Nigeria. It has to be Morocco, Tunisia.
All of this. They are Congo, of course.
The defending champions. Everyone knows. And in terms of local football, because CHAN is only for players who are playing locally.
Of course.
In terms of those players who are playing locally, Congo Brazzaville is one of the strongest, and of course Ghana. And of course Rwanda, because if you can see some of the preparation, John McKinstry is stressing the importance of how Rwandan players should step up and show the world that we have a very good and strong championship. As now this time around, Azam has popped up a lot of money in the championship in Rwanda. So the players are stepping up and they're learning their trade from Haruna Niyonzima and also some of our professional players who are coming from outside. Now Rwanda this is the time that Rwanda should show that we cannot only organize, but we also have to win.
Yes.
Last time, under 17, we didn't win it, but this time we have to win this one.
Well, I can't wait. So for every football star in Rwanda should be getting ready for and go, of course, take on and encourage our boys to make it.
Absolutely, and the draw, the big boys in the CAF will all come up for the draw in Serena, so it will be a big ceremony, and yeah, a lot I expected.
All right, there you had it from Moses. Okay, then we'll be right back after the break with local news and international news.
Let's take a look now at news making headlines here in Rwanda and around the world.
Debate on power sharing in a multi-party dispensation marked the second day of the ongoing Constitution Amendment review in the Senatorial Committee in charge of political affairs and good governance. This marched as members were analyzing the draft constitution already halfway through, which sparked off an interactive debate on the functions of political parties and how it relates to power distribution. While senators emphasized that according to Article 58 of the draft, a political organization might be taken to court, be suspended and dissolved over grave violations. Legal experts questioned how the ruling might affect parliamentary activities.
A group of coffee dealers from USA, Canada, and Australia visited Rukara sector in Kayonza district, where they encouraged women coffee growers in a number of modern coffee growing activities. The delegation that was led by David Grossford, the CEO of Sustainable Harvest, an agro-tourism mission, visited farmers. Addressing farmers at the field farm that was started exclusively by women, Grossford said the tour created unprecedented connectivity throughout the Sustainable Harvest supply chain.
And in regional news, some 11 million children are at risk from hunger, disease and water shortages in East and Southern Africa because of the strengthening El Nino weather phenomenon. The UN Children's Charity has said the weather phenomenon, among the strongest on record, is likely to cause more floods and droughts, fuel Pacific typhoons and cyclones, and affect more areas if it continues strengthening as forecast over the coming months. UNICEF said severe flooding was also expected in neighboring Somalia, where more than 3 million people were in need of aid as the effects of El Nino were already being felt. In Kenya, the government estimated that 2.5 million children may be affected by floods, landslides, mudslides, and diseases linked to the El Nino rains.
And in international news, Aung San Suu Kyi has won her seat after Myanmar's historic election, with her National League for Democracy party on course for a landslide victory. Ms. Suu Kyi will return as MP for her Kamu constituency in Yangon. Though she leads the NLD, she is barred from the constitution from being president. She said that won't stop her from making all the decision. Sunday's election was seen as the most democratic in Myanmar in the past 25 years.
Okay, lots more still to come. We take a look at lifestyle right now and our daily debate section, Hot Topic with Sherry Uwase. We'll be right back.
Here is to traveling and saving. Starting 1st of April to the 1st of June, travel with Rwanda and take advantage of our reduced fares and enjoy our world-class services in great comfort and safety.
Fly our dream to the heart of Africa.
And welcome to the lifestyle segment. I'm Sherry Uwase. Now today is movie review. And we have the famous Spectra, which everyone has been waiting for.
They say you're finished.
What do you think?
I think you're just getting started.
Ah, 007. Q. Magnificent, isn't she? A few little tricks up her sleeve. That's more like it. Do one more thing for me. What do you have in mind? Maybe disappear. I really, really hate you right now.
Spectre, coming soon.
The famous James Bond movie. Now, this movie is a cryptic message from the past leads James Bond, who is Daniel Craig, to Mexico City and Rome, where he meets the beautiful widow Monica Bellucci and of an infamous criminal. So after infiltrating a secret meeting, Agent 007 uncovers the existence of the sinister organization Spectra. Now, when he was needing the help of the daughter of an old nemesis, he embarks on a mission to find her. As Bond ventures toward the heart of Spectra, he discovers a chilling connection between himself and the enemy he seeks. And also, well, let's just talk about that before I jump onto the next movie. So I think we're all aware about the James Bond movies that have been happening in the past.
Yes.
So this is a new one. I think I talked about it when we were talking about Heineken rather.
Yeah.
It's planning to launch a campaign. It's ready. It's ongoing, and the campaign is based on this new movie, Spectra.
Okay.
So, what are your thoughts and views about this?
Of course, I love kind of spy movies.
Right.
Of course, I'm a very big fan of 007. And I can't wait to watch the movie. Of course, I'm pretty sure there's a lot of, the James Bond character, the knowledge, I mean, all the tactics he has to get things easily. And then he's just a smart guy,
Right.
And I always, because I'm a very big fan of his costumes, so I'm always looking forward to what he's wearing also.
Okay.
It's usually just tuxedo.
Tuxedo.
Yeah.
But he's into suits, so
Yeah, he's always
he
into
probably
suits.
relates a lot more. Yes, he does.
I'm excited because, okay, which one is the last one I watched? I think it was Skyfall.
Yes,
Skyfall.
it was Skyfall.
Skyfall was interesting. From what I remember, I think it was a good movie. I don't know what this
And the
one's
soundtrack,
gonna
of course.
Of course.
Definitely, every other time.
She's so amazing. She should have sang hello on this one or something. But I think, I don't know what to expect. I hope it reaches my expectation because Heineken has been really promoting this movie like no one else.
From the day-go.
Exactly. So I don't know. I can't wait to go.
Okay.
Yeah, to me, James Bond 007, as he's known of, he's always a guy who finds a way to get what he wants, especially when it comes like using people to get what he wants. He might use you even if you don't know, because most of the time he uses women. And he's so much addicted to women. And I can't wait to see this one, whether he's that kind of a person.
We're not
Because,
sure
and
is
he uses
addicted.
kind of technological cars, and he has so many technological equipment. Sometimes you see his umbrella is not just an umbrella, as you can see.
Yeah,
He uses an umbrella to fight. There is pens, there's bombs, those kind of things.
Right.
You don't find them in other movies. So James Bond, this one, as we see Brother now sponsoring this one, especially Heineken, we all want to see to open that bond. And I'm looking forward for that.
Okay. And now something else that's also on the movie shelf, look out, is He Named Me Malala.
Tonight, Malala remains in intensive care.
She was shot for daring to suggest girls should go to school.
Malala captured the world's attention by standing up for what she believes. Now experience the motion picture event that captures her incredible story.
From the director of An Inconvenient Truth comes the new movie, He Named Me Malala.
They thought the bullet would silence us, but I am the same Malala.
Join me and raise your voice with Malala. Go see He Named Me Malala.
Rated PG-13. Everywhere October 9th.
Now, this movie is actually from a true story. After the Taliban tries to kill her for speaking out on behalf of girls' education, this Pakistani teenager, Malala Yousafzai, that is a very difficult name, but I'm glad I said it right. Anyway, she emerges as a leading advocate for children's rights and the youngest ever Nobel Peace Prize winner.
Wow.
So, wow, he's clapping. Yeah.
No, she deserves
It's a very, very, very impressive story. I'm not so sure it's a movie or it's probably a documentary.
It's a life documentary.
Yeah, but anyway, it's something that we should be looking out to. Yeah.
Look, for me on that, a few days ago we were talking about a young boy who was taking care of his father, a paralyzed father. Yes. Now this time around we are talking about a girl who stepped up to talk on behalf of other girls, other people, especially for their rights. You know, now this time around, this young lady, who is our youngest Nobel Prize winner, she is in the category of Mandela's, all these big people, most influential people in the world. And you cannot get that Nobel Prize if you have not done something so special, so exceptional. And what she has done and what she has achieved, of course, putting her life on the line to be killed by the Taliban, it's also another decision that you want to die for what you think is the right thing to do.
Right.
I'm really proud of her, and other people should also step up the same way she did, and also take the same responsibility.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely. What she did was exceptional. It was beyond what anybody else would do. I mean, I don't even think I would have the courage to do something like that. And she stands for strength and confidence, and I like that very, very much, and very admirable. And I actually want to watch it because I read a bit of her book. I didn't get really finish it, but it's something very interesting. I think it will be a good watch.
Right.
Of course. Now, Sherry, excuse me on this one. They just talk about everything about Malala, so I want to go back. For me, I will be a movie critic on this one.
Okay.
This is something. This is a very special story.
Okay, it is
and
very special.
Yes, it's very special. And of course, as always, I need Hollywood to always portray that same image. And it's a very big challenge playing Malala. And if it's a very good documentary, I haven't watched it, but one thing I'm looking at too is how is the portrayal, because she has a wonderful story. I've seen Malala speak in the United Nations.
Right,
but each time she speaks, people just drop out and they just cry. So I don't know even myself if I have the courage to go watch it. But I'm pretty sure I'm very emotional about that. So I don't know if
don't cry.
I won't cry, but I'm pretty sure it will go down. So for people who did the movie, I hope so that it meets our expectations.
Yes.
It meets also Malala's story.
Right, because everyone is actually waiting for this. We already know Malala's story even before they're planning to do this. So we're really hoping that it's going to, like you're saying, it's going to match up to what they have for us.
Yes.
So now moving on to our cult classic, which is one that everyone liked, especially myself. This is Air Force One.
Come to you with a pledge to change America's policy. Atrocity and terror are not political weapons, and to those who would use them, your day is over.
In a speech tonight in Moscow, the president issued a direct challenge to terrorist nations around the world.
But the question remains, what are the risks involved in such a bold policy initiative?
They hated your speech, didn't they?
They're afraid we won't have the guts to back it up.
Air Force One clear for takeoff. Thank you for your hospitality, Moscow.
Air Force One with an emergency call. Where's my family?
The president's plane, Air Force One, has been hijacked.
What do they want?
They want General Radek released from prison.
I will execute the hostage every half an hour.
What are our airborne scenarios?
There are no airborne scenarios.
My husband will not negotiate.
His wife, his daughter, I think he'll negotiate.
How the hell did this happen? How the hell did they get Air Force One?
Your national security advisor has been executed. He just bought you another half hour.
Sir, your parachute.
I'm not leaving without my family.
You know who I am?
I'm the President of the United States.
Jim isn't making this decision as a president. He's making it as a husband and a father.
Go! Let's not forget this president is a Medal of Honor winner. He knows how to fight.
He has no right to take chances with his life.
We cannot give in to their demands. You've got a job to do.
It makes me so proud, Mr. President, that you stuck with us.
You know your father, he has also killed.
You're nothing like my father.
We're tracking 6 MiGs. I'm sending in our F-15s to protect you.
She said MiGs? In a war, people die.
The president is up there with a gun to his head.
I'll do anything to save my family. Don't ask me for something I can't give.
You could finish this with one phone call!
No.
This way, Air Force One, break clear!
Now, let me just give you a brief history about the movie. After making a speech in Moscow vowing never to negotiate with terrorists, President James Marshall, who is Harrison Ford, boards Airline One with his family, Wendy Crewson, Lizzo Matthews, and advisors. Now, when a group of terrorists led by Ivan, who is Gary Oldman, hijacks the flight, the president's principles are brought to test. Now, when he planned to escape, Marshall stows away in the aircraft and must race against time to rescue his family and everyone else on board. I think we all watched this movie.
Yeah.
We were very much aware. Actually, when I was reading that, I was just trying to visual everything.
Yes, try to remember the little parts, the scenes.
So what was your experience with Air Force One?
Air Force One. I mean, that was a movie to watch. I remember when my father bought the movie at home, and it was like, imagine that in the real life if maybe the Air Force One was hijacked and everything. But anyways, one of the most interesting parts of that movie that I loved about Harrison Ford is the part where he said, he's given, in the Air Force One, there's a place where you can enter, and you as the president, you can actually be saved from the Air Force One. So instead of him going that same place and leaving the plane, he actually played a trick and decided to stay, but made sure that the same instrument that was supposed to drop him down went. So people thought he was not on board. But the whole story behind was, I can't leave my family and the people.
And on board.
And the last scene, of course, let me say this, was him removing the last terrorist on the plane. He said, "Get off my plane."
Okay.
So that was
Ivan, I think you should go to Hollywood sometime.
I think he imagined himself as the
so I think you should go sometime. Yvette, what was your experience?
I don't remember it very well. I know I remember Air Force One was about the president. Everything happened on the plane, but I don't remember exactly like what happened.
Like Ivan.
Yes, like Ivan.
He knows the script
But I would definitely watch it again.
Right?
Yeah, to me, it's always the fact that president can't leave his people behind.
Right.
That's one action that it's very admirable. And
good leadership.
of course, as a leader, you never think of yourself. You always need to think as a nation.
Right.
Because what do you expect when you leave people behind? And you go and you leave people behind. Because some terrorists can use his family as a reason to bring him back in the plane. And, Americans don't really negotiate with terrorists.
Yes.
So what he did was the right thing to do. And, of course, the whole movie was a very big trick, on side of terrorists and the president, and the fact that they were playing all tricks, and there was so much of intelligence inside. I really loved the movie, and I can't really wait to go back and watch it again and again and again.
Right. So actually, just to conclude, I think even the making of the movie, I have a very big admiration for just the making of something. So everything was wonderful.
Yes.
Yeah. So it was a very nice movie, and I definitely have to go and watch it again. So. Now, welcome back, and it's that Hot Topics time again. As always, the Rise and Shine Rwanda team have been up and about, gathering everything you need to know about what's happening here and abroad, from what's trending on Twitter to the debates in your local cafe. We've got it all for you right here, right now. And now, this is a very sensitive topic, but at the end of the day, you have to talk about everything. So hundreds of people in Uganda, lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transsexual community have fled outside the country to Kenya to escape homophobia and persecution. But many are now stuck in Kenya, where the situation is not much better either. Although the courts stuck it down, the environment has proved too dangerous for a growing number of Ugandans. Actually, it's said to be 500 of them. But in Kenya, they face constant attacks, kidnappings, extortion, and police harassment. Recently, almost a dozen of the lesbians, gays, bisexual, and transsexual community people were taken by the United Nations Refugee Agency to a safe house in Nairobi after they were attacked on a night out. So we know how Uganda feels about this kind of community, the gays, lesbians, the bisexual, and transsexual. And I don't even think it's only Uganda. It's just that Uganda really speaks about it a lot than any other. Yeah, it's very emphasized.
Actually,
yes.
Last year they passed out a bill on whether to legalize it or not, and the president had to sign a bill. He actually signed the bill that was passed out by the Ugandan parliament that formally made homosexuality illegal in Uganda.
Yes.
So I mean, a lot of Ugandans are coming out on this issue, and they are actually very tormented in Uganda. They have different names they are called. And in Uganda, you know, it's a lot of chaos going on. Most of them can be even killed because they are...
Not most of them. They can be killed. You actually have to be persecuted if you're found to be in that kind of community. So they've fled to Kenya, and it's not any better. They're being harassed. It's a very tough time for them. But the UNHCR is now taking them in. Yvette?
Very sensitive topic.
Very sensitive, I agree.
One must be extremely careful in what they say, but what I know for sure is that it's not fair for somebody to be killed or harassed or threatened in any kind of way because of how...
Their sexual orientation.
Yes, because of their sexual orientation or how they feel towards other human beings.
Right.
So I'm definitely not for that. That's about it, actually.
Okay.
Yeah, as you said, it's very sensitive. But again, I feel that a human has to have his own rights to decide, to dictate what he wants to do and how he wants to do it. Though in African community, African society, especially Ugandans and all East African community or even African countries, they are not yet up to that level of accepting homosexuality as something to be accepted in our society. Yeah, but being killed and being executed and being threatened that much is somehow above the human rights level. That's why UNHCR has to step up and evacuate those people. But again, I don't know, they can maybe say no to what is happening, but not to threaten to that level.
Yeah.
Because probably it doesn't make too much sense to threaten someone to an extent he can die.
Yes.
Because human right perspective is not really accepted.
Actually, the law was also passed that they could be imprisoned for life. So as much as, Africa, especially East Africa, we have very mixed feelings about this topic. We're not yet there yet. We don't, considering your religious background or your cultural background, we are still not yet decisive about this, especially on the negative aspect. And it doesn't really matter what stand you're on, but I think as human beings, there is a lot of indifferences, and there is a lot that should be considered before you decide to stigmatize somebody in that kind of manner.
Exactly. Yeah, it's not right. Don't forget, we love to hear your thoughts, comments, and feedback on what we're talking about here on Rise and Shine Rwanda. Tweet us at Rise and Shine RW. Like us on Facebook and send us your ideas for programs. Check out our Rise and Shine YouTube page where you can catch all the shows and reports we do. Find us on Instagram, Rise and Shine RW. We love to see your pictures. Or check out our Rise and Shine Rwanda website, www.riseandshinerwanda.com. Well, that's all the time we have for you today. We love to hear your feedback, and do let us know if you have any ideas for programs. You've been watching Rise and Shine with me, Yvette Shumbusho.
And me, Ivan Magwene. We'll be at same time, same place tomorrow. Do join us then. But for now, from the both of us and the rest of the Rise and Shine team, have a very good day. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.